What is up, everybody? This is Erik, the one and only, and today I am continuing the Adventure Island versus Wonder Boy Let's Compare series, and this time around I am doing Adventure Island 3 for the NES. Now, this game is actually expensive to own as of the making of this video. And the game came out back in 1992 by Hudson Soft. And of course, you play as Master Higgins out to rescue his girlfriend Tina again from these pesky aliens. Now, the gameplay is very similar to, if not almost identical to, Adventure Island 2. The only difference is that if you see Master Higgins there, he now has a boomerang and as an additional weapon. And I think there's other dinosaurs that are a little bit different, but nothing too special. One thing that is special is that in 1993, they made Adventure Island 2 Aliens in Paradise for the Game Boy or Game Boy Color. I think it's Game Boy, but you can play it in the Game Boy Color. And of course, it is even though it says Adventure Island 2, it is the exact same game as Adventure Island 3. The only difference is that it has a password save feature. Both games feature 8 islands with 4 levels in each, with boss battles at the end. And of course, you can also warp, get other items and whatnot that are similar to previous games. Why don't I own the cartridge? Well, it's a cartridge that's expensive to own. I used to own it back in the days when I was a kid. There's an interesting story because I believe the way I acquired that one particular game was that I had a friend in school who was selling a couple of games. He was selling this one. He was selling Mario Kart. And there was another game I can't remember what. But the one that caught my eye was Adventure Island 3. And I ended up buying it from him. I believe I did. I think I did. If not, I want to say I did. That's the only way I remember I acquired it, because I know I had it many, many years ago. But I do own it, of course, in the infamous legendary collection 509 in 1 game, of course. So yeah, I do own it. So what's the difference between Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap? Very different. This keeps the arcade style gameplay of the game, and is like true to the heart to like the original Wonder Boy and to the Adventure Island series. Whereas Part 3, Wonder Boy Part 3, The Dragon's Trap, of course, if you saw my previous video, it's basically the same as Monster Land, but more RPG adventure platformer. But I did mention in the last video from Wonder Boy that I was going to talk to you about the next set of series of games that are coming up in the consoles. Now, here's where things get interesting. Nintendo did do an Adventure Island 4 game, but it only came out in Japan. That Adventure Island 4 game started to be very similar to the Wonder Boy style of game play series, like Metroidvania style. I did do a review of that game many years ago, so I'm going to go ahead and link it in the description below, so that way you guys can watch it. And I'm not going to review that game again because I already did it. It's a lot of fun, but the next game I want to say that comes up after Wonder Boy in Monster Land is either Wonder Boy in Monster World for the Genesis, or Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon Slayer, which is an arcade game in itself. So I'll figure out which one of those two are next in the sequence. I have to do a little bit of research, and then I will bring you guys that game video next, since I already did Adventure Island 4, and I will compare the similarities or the differences between those particular games. But anyways, this has been Erik, the one and only Barrier Collector. game expensive to own. This one's getting there, but not quite. Both made by Hudson Soft, and of course, very same. If you guys see Adventure Island 1 for the Game Boy, it's actually, I believe, Adventure Island 2 on the NES. So yeah, they kind of did a number on these. I don't know why. I tried looking for information as to why they did that, and God, I can't find anything on it. I couldn't find anything. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. Hope you guys enjoy the gameplay footage of the games, of both of them. I'll put in the timestamp below as well as to where each game starts. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to Lily a Simple Mom, Logan's Toy Box Review, and Alexis Toy Box Review. All their links will be in the description down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoy this gameplay footage. I'll see you guys again in the next one. You guys take care. Peace out.
you